know the way to tomorrow. Breathe in, chini ya maji kila siku kuna
And I'm reaching out to all my brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into Black Hot Fire Radio.
You're now listening to the best music.
Feel the hits. Feel the freshness.
1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment. Deep in your heart, it is heavy, I'm told. And the path that you're on, it is narrow. And I know the way to tomorrow. Breathe in, chini ya maji kila siku kuna shetani. I need you with me. Mtoto utazimia, dunia itakubeba baby. Mtoto dunia inamezanga yule ambaye hana ndoto. You're now listening to the best music. 1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment. And I know the way to tomorrow. Breathe in, chini ya maji kila siku kuna shetani. I need you with me.
Happy Wednesday, buenas tardes, beautiful people. How are you doing? Welcome to Let's Talk with Irritan. I hope you're having a brilliant week. But today here in Let's Talk with Irritan, how y'all doing? I hope you had a beautiful morning because yes, you literally stayed up with us on the Vibe Show. But another conversation, uplifting conversation here about the rise and fall of Congo. We're also going to be talking about the HIV vaccines to prevent, you know, HIV, AIDS, that actually is being brought to Kenya and why. But if you know, you know. Also, we're going to be talking about South Korea to help Kenya address youth challenges with the new research. There's a lot going on in regards to this foreign nation coming up with all type of agendas to actually diminish the African population. First of all, the new HIV jab. What's happening with that? And then next, we do have the Koreans trying to help Kenya address youth challenges with new research. And also, first and foremost, we do have the IEBC construct new Uchaguzi Center near HQ in Rai, costing 3.5 billion Kenya shillings. Stay up with me. For the ones who are joining me right away, my name is Iwerton Longoria, reporting on the Black Hot Fire Radio Network, media of the 21st century. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for the ones for joining me live on TikTok. You can kindly like the screen button and invite more people to listening to our amazing uplifting conversation, Ubuntu Season for Life, because you are the change you need to see in the world. And then we'll definitely delve in deeper about the rise and fall of Congo, because I definitely know Congo is one of the most wealthiest continent I can say in the world, literally like 100%.
Breathe in, chini ya maji kila siku kuna shetani. I need you with me. Mtoto utazimia, dunia itakubeba baby. Mtoto dunia inamezanga yule ambaye hana ndoto. Mtoto pumua. Take a baby, I know that it's heavy. Nothing will ever take you away. You'll never be alone now. I know that it's so cold. Feel the freshness. Chini ya maji kila siku kuna utani I need you with me. Ooh, I'm total.
Happy Wednesday, family. How are you doing? Your girl over there, Bridget Blue Pumua. Sometimes you just need that breather. But welcome to another conversation here with me on Let's Talk with Eriton on the best radio station, the Black Hot 5 Radio Network, Meteor of the 21st century. Always talking about redefining Africa as we redefine ourselves. Before we dive into the conversation, remember you can download our app on the Google Play Store, stream on www.blackhot5radionetwork.com for amazing healthy supplements, apparel clothing with the Black Hot 5 Radio logo on it. We do have also the side or the sector of the apparel clothing, beanie hats, dad hats, sandals, lights, hoodies. Right now is a good season for you to order yourself a good hoodie. Also, remember you can order yourself amazing supplement the likes of Ala Cool Cucumber. So, beetroot to give you that beautiful skin, and also if you want to naturally lose some weight, get yourself some beetroot on www.blackoutfireradionetwork.com if you're using the iPhone or the computer. And if you're using the Android device, you can download our app on the Google Play Store. Super free. You can listen to all our shows and programs anytime. You'll definitely be it. But right now, let's listen in to the health and benefits of beetroot.
Beetroot, nature's powerhouse, packed with vitamins, antioxidants, and nitrates, it's known to support heart health, boost stamina, and improve blood circulation. Our beetroot is naturally grown and harvested at peak ripeness. The roots are cleaned, dried, and finely ground to preserve their rich nutrition content, giving you all the benefits in one pure form. Add 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder to your juice, smoothie, or water, or take it in capsule form as recommended by your healthcare provider. Beetroot helps enhance endurance, lower blood pressure, and keep you feeling energized and balanced all day. Fuel your body with the natural power of beetroot. Stay strong, stay healthy. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
$90, super affordable. So family, welcome to another conversation with me. Today we'll be talking more about the rise and fall of Congo, and also delve deeper into this conversation that is happening right now about the HIV jab prevention that has been introduced here in Kenya. First of all, why am I getting prevented from something that I don't have? Ask yourself that question. Also, really maybe diminish the Kenyan population or Africa, because we have 9 countries that this vaccine has been introduced to, because we definitely understood they came with another just early this year. It didn't work. And is it also the fact that we have a of individuals that are not actually adhering to what the government is actually talking about, because they're awakened and they know what's really happening? I will definitely share a video of what people are talking about regarding this HIV jab. And also they have medical advancement, core air quotes, because I don't believe this is true, talking about this new jab injection protects individual from HIV for 6 months. I'll definitely share that right away. But I'm not really buying this, because when you know, and you understand what I'm saying right now. Let's listen in.
HIV and AIDS has seen another breakthrough. The US FDA has approved an injectable medication called Yes to Go to be injected twice a year as a form of preventing HIV infection. Clinical trials showed that this medication was 96% effective and led to 0 HIV infections, especially among women in sub-Saharan Africa. But here is the catch. One injection, currently the market price is $14,000, which means one individual needs $28,000 a year to access this medication. This raises a fundamental concern because across Asia and Africa, the majority of people that desperately need this medication are people that live below the poverty line and cannot
First of all, I don't believe it's a medication. No.
afford such a huge sum of money just for HIV prevention medication. What does it mean for people that desperately need a medication for whom it was designed for but cannot access it because of the price, because of social and economic factors? Thank you so much for watching, and please remember to subscribe and continue.
Okay, no, but also we'll definitely move forward to another conversation about that specific thing right wait, I'm going to share that right away right now. But I don't believe the new HIV jab is actually preventing you all from anything at all. It's just another conversation which has a hidden agenda, because we definitely all know and understand that. Kindly allow me a moment to share that in a bit. But thank you for the ones who are joining me right now. Remember, you can also like the screen button and invite more to amazing conversation here with me.
Quotas in Rwai at the cost of 3.5 billion shillings, and the construction is set to start in July 2026, guys.
Here we go.
Na asante sana kwa tukiendelea kukufahamisha yanayojiri ni kwamba Wakenya walio kwenye hatari ya kuambukizwa virusi vya HIV huenda wakaanza kupokea sindano mpya ya kudhibiti maambukizi kufikia.
Kenya is among countries that have received the HIV vaccine, and it will start to be administered to people from January 2026 to prevent the
ya Januari mwakani.
According to this conversation.
Hii ni baada ya shirika la afya ulimwenguni WHO kuidhinisha sindano hiyo mpya, ambapo Kenya ni kati ya mataifa 9 yatakayoanza kuitumia kwanza, kama anavyotueleza mwanahabari wetu Emily Chebet.
Kenya imekuwa katika mstari wa mbele kupambana na ugonjwa wa ukimwi, kuzuia maambukizi zaidi. Shirika la Afya Duniani imetaja Kenya kati ya mataifa 9 yanayotarajiwa kuanzisha sindano ya lenacapavir. Shirika la Afya Duniani limetaja Kenya kati ya mataifa 9 yanayotarajiwa kuanzisha sindano ya lenacapavir, dawa ambayo inahitaji kudungwa tu mara 2 kwa mwaka kutoa kinga ya ugonjwa huu. Wizara ya Afya inasema tayari imeweka mikakati kuhakikisha ambao wako katika hatari ya maambukizi wamezuiwa.
Kenya is one of the first adoptees of this innovation, and we expect to roll out in the first quarter of 2026. We are working with the support of ourselves and Global Fund.
And the reason as to why we are going to do this in January is because we have to change our existing guidelines. We have to train the healthcare workers. We have to put the logistics in place of how to get the medicines, how we are going to store it.
Akitangaza hatua hiyo mjini Kigali, Rwanda, mkurugenzi mkuu wa WHO Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus ameyataka mataifa hayo kutekeleza kinga hiyo haraka iwezekanavyo. Nchi nyingine 8 zitakazoanza kutumia lenacapavir.
They want it as soon as possible. If we definitely do have a world generation, which I believe we definitely do have right away in regards to what's really happening, you can ask yourself this question, because if this vaccine is actually being administered to each and every person, why are you actually being vaccinated from something that you don't have? I know there's a lot of excitement if you see the comments of how people are actually awaiting this new jab. But ask yourself really lots of questions. We've had the same agendas or news about, prevention, talk about it each and every time. But each and every time also, we've seen the consequences of what really happens. People don't learn, honestly.
Virni Eswatini, Lesotho, Msumbiji, Nigeria, Afrika Kusini, Uganda, Zambia na Zimbabwe.
We have had oral pre-exposure prophylaxis, which is given daily. However, the challenge of daily PrEP is that you may forget 1 or 2 days, and therefore then the protection that you desire to get is not assured.
Finally, we are seeing a breakthrough that can easily contribute to end of HIV. This jab will protect you against HIV, but will not protect you against syphilis, will not protect you about against hepatitis or pregnancies or other sexually transmitted illnesses.
Kulingana na mwongozo wa
We go back.
Pregnancies.
This guy, what the hell is he saying, honestly? Like, we had this conversation. You've actually taken care of yourself for the longest time. For the longest time, you've been good. But now they're enforcing you to do something because the agenda is you're preventing yourself from, catching this virus, regardless what really happens. But if you're really someone who can really question what's really happening, why are they actually enforcing something onto you that you don't never needed actually?
It is, or that can easily contribute to end of HIV. This
or then the protection that you desire to get is not assured.
Finally, we are seeing a breakthrough that can easily contribute to end of
a breakthrough. That's what he says, a breakthrough.
HIV. This jab will protect you against HIV, but will not protect you against syphilis, will not protect you about against hepatitis or pregnancies or other sexually transmitted illnesses.
Kulingana na mwongozo wa matumizi ya ARV nchini Kenya, PrEP inapaswa kutolewa kwa watu wasio na virusi vya ukimwi lakini ambao wako katika hatari kubwa ya kuambukizwa. Emily Chebet, Runinga ya Citizen.
That's the conversation.
The new HIV
in regards to the vaccine that is being introduced in Kenya. This is according to a medic.
The injection that has been approved the FDA. Sio ya walala hoi. Now, there's one thing you need to know. There are two types. The medication is called Runicapovil. I've made a YouTube video about it. There are two medications. One is called Yetugo, the other one is called Sulenka. Yetugo is the one that is supposed to be used as PrEP, and it is not cheap. One injection will be costing $14,109 US. So for a full treatment, because you need 2 injections in 1 year, it will cost you $28,209 US. Okay, and they did not say the full information because there's orals as well. You need like 600 mg orals. Yes, you have to take orals. Yes, it's a fascinating conversations toward HIV prevention. For sex workers, you don't have now to worry that your husband will be cheating or your.
Is he really saying this, honestly? But you've had the conversation about it. And also we had an individual talking about how much it costs in terms of dollars. And also the fact that they're pushing it into the African nation. First of all, have they tried it? I'm just asking. In other foreign nations, have they actually tried to see if it's working on them before they actually launch it to the rest of the nation? These are conversations that we should definitely do have. But before that, family, I would definitely just play a short video of some of the supplements we do have on our website.
Discover the natural power of ashwagandha, an ancient herb known for its healing properties. For over 3,000 years, ashwagandha has been trusted to reduce stress, increase energy, and improve focus. Our ashwagandha is carefully grown, harvested, and processed to retain its maximum potency. Each root is hand-picked and dried, then ground into a pure organic powder, ensuring the highest quality. Simply mix 1 teaspoon into your favorite beverage or take it in capsule form as prescribed by a healthcare professional. Whether you're looking to balance your stress levels, boost your immune system, or enhance mental clarity, ashwagandha offers a natural solution. Experience the benefits of ancient wisdom backed by modern science. Trust nature. Trust ashwagandha. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
$3.90. We do have another reaction regarding the HIV vaccine.
Buffett's money is working directly proportional to the hate that we have towards this government. Let's start with the glorified mother of health, WHO. They have approved, injectable HIV prevention drugs, and the Ministry of Health, they have said they are going to roll it out in January 2026. It's either you condomize or you get an injection. Na mtoto wako alipata chanjo because Kenya will take part in the trial, of the first malaria treatment for the newborn babies. Hakuna kupumzika kwa watoto, ni health after another health crisis. And before they come for your kidneys, they'll make sure that all your 5 senses have been tampered with, because Kiambu, among other 7 counties, will participate in the Vision Impact Project.
Actually got me in regards to the fact that they've actually chosen some hospitals to conduct all these trials. And something which will literally shock you, there's a Bible scripture on that letter.
VIP, whereby they are going to screen the eyes of the students, both in primary and secondary. And even the private schools are inclusive. Either macho ama hauna. This project will be coordinated by the Kikuyu Eye Hospital, closely with the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Education. And they have even quoted a verse, Matthew 6:22, and it says, "The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body is full of light." So why do I need screening if I don't have eye? Why do you want to dim? The IPOA has returned the big fish back to the ocean. Mkongojea Albert Ojwang azikwe, mkongojea Boniface Kariuki azikwe, mkongojea Sabasaba ishe, mkongojea the order of shoot to the leg, or shoot to kill, or shoot to kill orders to be given. And then you said, it's time for Eliud Legategu back to work. IPOA. Is it IPOA? It's the body which is 6 feet under for both Boniface Kariuki and Albert Ojwang.
We do have the DIG Eliud Lagat, who is back to the office after the whole saga, literally. Was it just an alert to actually yay, I'm not part of this, obviously. But also going back to the main conversation about the HIV jab. Guys, he's our hidden agenda behind it, honestly. Ask yourself those questions, because thank God this generation is really woke and everybody's reacting to it. We're on TikTok and actually talking about the main cause or the main agenda of the jab. But right away, we're going to be diving into the rise and fall of Congo.
Its military might. Beyond trade and politics, the security of the Congo Kingdom rested on its military might. From defending the realm to outward expeditions, Congo warriors forged a legacy of courage and strategy. From youth, warriors trained rigorously, mastering shield formations, spear drills, and archery. Leaders instilled discipline, forging fighters who were both skilled and fearless. Their weapons were crafted locally, hardwood spears tipped with iron, clinker-built shields, and leather armor adorned with spiritual talismans, combining utility with identity. Atop the ranks was the Kongo, commanding strategy and defense. Beneath him, captains led province regiments, their leadership pivotal during war and peace. Rituals grounded soldiers in faith. Prayers, amulets, and drumbeats fostered unity and courage, binding the warriors to their homeland. The kingdom used natural defenses, riverbanks, hills, fortified stockades, to control and protect Congo's borders.
The Kingdom of Congo is one of the most well-documented African kingdoms. In this video, we will explore the rise and fall of the kingdom through the eyes of three very
Congo engaged in military diplomacy. Campaigns against rivals were strategic. Alliances bolstered its power. Unity often
on Namibia and Zambia as well. Throughout its evolution, the Kingdom of Congo became a unique fusion of African traditions mixed with Roman Catholicism. This was due to the extended relationship that Congo had with Portugal. Ultimately, they will fall into the colonial trap. But in this video, we will explore how the kingdom evolved before and how it slowly changed.
Before and after, because right now people are fleeing away from Congo, and we definitely know Congo, it's a fact that it's the most wealthiest country in the world, literally. It runs the world. That's my perspective about it. But also we understand why there's wars in this African nation. Talk about Sudan, talk about Congo. Also Sudan basically is super rich in gold and oil. Also it has been divided into two. We do have Congo actually rich in the same things, right? Gold, mostly gold, literally. And also the fact that also Rwanda has benefited, right, from the wealth of Congo.
Due to its relationship with Portugal. As I said earlier, I divided the video in 3 chapters, each covering a king in the history. The first king we will cover is Lukeni Luanini, reigning from 1380 to 1420. Chapter 2 covers the short rule of King Diogo I from 1545 to 1561. The final chapter will discuss King Pedro IV, who reigned from 1858 to 1880. If you enjoy this type of content.
And I've also seen people actually telling stories in the form of animation to teaching kids on TikTok. And it's amazing because we need more of this stories depicted in the form of animation for kids to learn about their true origin, the true education of what really defines who they are.
Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's start at the beginning when 2 Kikongo-speaking peoples decided to merge and create the kingdom. Chapter 1, The Rise. The Kingdom of Congo was founded around 1390 through the political marriage of Nima Nzima and Lukeni Luansanze, which cemented the alliance between the 2 Kikongo-speaking peoples. Nima Nzima will later be known as King Lukeni Luanimi. King Lukeni Luanimi is credited with the conquest of most of the provinces the empire will keep for centuries. Once he conquered cities from surrounding chiefs, he would organize marriages in these new territories with aristocrats from his own kingdom. Lukeni Luanimi created a powerful empire with the use of marriage as a political affair to cement alliances. This unification made sure that Congo's history was not dominated by independent clans before the 19th century. In return, King Lukeni Luanimi was rewarded with gifts and received collected taxes from the village chiefs and provincial governors. The king also had a religious title known as Nzambi Mpungu, which means superior spirit. He was believed to be able to protect against disasters caused by angry gods. The people of Congo had a mastery of metallurgy, law, weaving, and textiles. The art of the Congo remains one of the most elaborate in Africa, even today, making use of wood, cloth, terracotta, and even stone. The capital of the kingdom was the great city of Mbanza, Congo, located in what is now northern Angola. Mbanza, Congo was built of stone and acted as a strong fortress to protect against attack. The name Mbanza derives from a Proto-Bantu root, banja, which originally meant ground made ready for building. Most people in the Congo lived in straw huts or buildings made of wood or clay, which were well known for keeping the interior cool on hot days. The eastern cities of Mbanza, Nsundi, Mpangu, and Mbata were all located in the fertile Nkisi Valley near the eastern frontier of the kingdom. The founder, King Lukeni Luanimi, chose this location because it offered the dual advantage of almost central positioning within the kingdom and natural defense against enemy attack. The kingdom was ruled by kings known as Mani Congos, and its inhabitants were divided into three classes: the aristocracy, an upper social class determined by birth and considered superior; free people, including traders, blacksmiths, and others; and slaves at the lowest level. Lukeni Luanimi established a strong and centralized monarchy, as well as reformed the taxation system to strengthen the economy. He also utilized diplomatic measures to maintain peace with neighboring states. He is remembered for his astute political tactics and reforms. This is the context behind the rise of the Kingdom of Congo, which began with conquest and the construction of the important city of Mbanza, Congo. King Lukeni Luanimi laid the foundation for the empire. Chapter 2, The Revolt. The second king in our tale is King Diogo I. As you can tell from his name, something had changed in the Kingdom of Congo. Over the years, a new power emerged on the coast of the continent. In 1419, Portuguese sailors and settlers arrived on the island of Madeira, and soon after, Portugal began trading with the Congo Kingdom. The Portuguese arrived in the Congo in the mid-1400s for trade, and soon found a way to spread Christianity. Through the work of Christian missionaries over the years, they successfully converted the Mani Congo of the time and his son to Christianity. The king's son was baptized, sent to a Christian missionary school. This was King Diogo's father, making King Diogo the third generation of Christian kings of the Kingdom of Congo. He had never known any religion other than Christianity, as the Portuguese had long been partners with his people by the time of his birth. In fact, one of Afonso's sons, a prince of Congo named Henrique, became the first black bishop in 1518. With time, the Portuguese gradually converted the majority of the Congo people to Christianity. Instead of becoming a religion for the masses, it was adopted by a small ruling elite who made it into a royal cult, thus reinforcing their political authority. One key factor in the decline of the relationship and eventual fall of the empire was
because it's super easy to actually control people from the top. But I believe right now we're going back to our culture and tradition, because we see a lot of half of the people, as the video says, adopted the religion. And I believe that's the time when, as Africans, they're losing their cultures, their identity, and their traditions. But it's a very, very beautiful, beautiful kingdom to learn about.
Portuguese demand for human slaves in exchange for their goods. This destabilized the strength of the Kingdom of Congo, which went from conquest through assimilation and marriage to the pure extraction of human capital from neighboring regions. This constant pillage
exchange of slaves to their good, but what good are they actually bringing to Africa? Most importantly, because they took everything, or basically eroded everything from Africa, stole our culture, took everything that actually defined what African means to us.
Which went from conquest through assimilation and marriage to the pure extraction of human capital from neighboring regions. This constant pillaging created a lot of wars and uncertainty. It was during these uncertain times that King Diogo I was crowned as the new king. In 1483, A Portuguese navigator landed in Congo and was surprised to discover the existence of a centralized political state, which was an African replica of the Portuguese kingdom. At that time, traditional customs were being replaced with Portuguese ones. The anti-Portuguese faction was a movement that already
That's when we lost our identity. We're starting to lose our identity and our cultures.
existed by the time King Diogo I took the throne.
And that's how I can see they converted a lot of Africans to Christianity over there on that animated photo.
As most of the records we have on the kingdom were written by Portuguese, it is hard to understand that sentiment. It is clear that the growing demand for slaves did not help. King Diogo I had to follow in his father's footsteps and keep a steady stream of humans to sell in order to keep receiving goods from Portugal. In return for the slaves sold, the kingdom received weapons that were used to obtain the slaves and secure their borders.
Right, weapons to kill. Obviously, they came with weapons of maybe Africans because we're so sincere and loving and welcoming. So there was no war or we were all united. We don't have that conflicting factor in us or root in us, the good word that I can use. But it actually gives you the pathway of how we were colonized and of how we adapted they adapted the Portuguese mindset. Okay, the whole Africa did that in regards to which foreign nation actually colonized which part of the country.
If the number of slaves did not satisfy the Portuguese, they could easily cut off the supply of guns and weapons and provide them to an enemy empire, which would invade and enslave its people. Slowly but surely, it became clear to Diogo I that leading a larger revolt against the Portuguese was the most probable outcome for freedom. But at the end, he was betrayed by his brother and killed. The Portuguese from then on
Betrayed by his brother. Oh my gosh. Look at that.
Decided who would become the next king. It was already too late to change the tide, and the Kingdom of Congo became a vassal state, providing cheap slaves for the Portuguese from then on. Chapter 3, The Fall. The last king in our tale of the Kingdom of Congo is King Pedro IV. The fall of the Kingdom of Congo is attributed to the Civil War of 1665 to 1670, during which King Afonso II.
One thing I want us to understand, we had kingdoms. Like we come from a royal heritage. It's a fact. And I believe it's actually drawing back itself to us because I believe all over you go to social media, there's something about, the African heritage, African tradition and culture. Someone is always actually talking about the awakening. It's beautiful to see that each and everywhere that you actually try to stream in, try to search. It's a beautiful thing. It means it's a subliminal, factor that is actually being energized to each and every African individual all over the world.
Was defeated by his brother Garcia II. This war resulted in the division of the kingdom into 4 separate polities, each governed by someone affiliated with the Portuguese. This alliance between Congo and Portugal had started as an equal one, in which the ruler of each kingdom would guarantee the succession of the heirs of their own kingdom. But once the Congo elite fractured in the civil wars, Portuguese interference in local politics and taxation policies led to further unrest, and the price of slaves continued to decrease. The Congo Kingdom began to weaken due to the estimated removal of almost 1 million Africans as slaves from the Congo region by 1680. It was in this context that King Pedro IV was elected by a group of powerful officials, including provincial governors, members of the aristocracy, and elders. King Pedro IV ruled from 1694 to 1718. By that time, the Portuguese already had full control over the selection of kings and governors in the empire. King Pedro IV was chosen because of his strong religious beliefs and his attempts to convert the people of Congo to Christianity. Slavery and increased European interference were major contributors to the fall of the Congo Kingdom. Portuguese traders began to demand slaves as payment for their goods, which led to increased tensions between the two empires. The Portuguese not only took over political power, but also disrupted the traditional social and economic structure, leading to a decline in production and trade. King Pedro IV tried to restore the kingdom by establishing the Saint Antoine Congolese religion, but also created a royal cult which spread Christianity throughout the kingdom. Pedro IV was also responsible for the expansion of Mbanza Congo, the capital of the kingdom. This included the perimeter of the Portuguese city and the royal quarters, which were both almost a mile long. He also created a colonial city with two cities coexisting, the European city and the African city. The European city had more than 100 Portuguese merchants and more than 1,000 others born in Portugal, and the African city was scattered with rural houses and palaces. The expansion of the Portuguese in the Kingdom of Congo was marked by the presence of missionaries, traders, and officials who left behind vivid descriptions of the development of the kingdom, allowing for a detailed reconstruction of the daily lives of its inhabitants. King Pedro IV left a small mark in the history of the kingdom due to the context in which he was born. By the time he ascended to the throne, the kingdom had lost control of its own territories. Trade was weak, and the economic structure depended on trade with Portugal. This is how the Congo Kingdom fell. Once the capital was captured by the Portuguese, the Congo Kingdom essentially became a colony of the Portuguese. As a result, they lost their autonomy. It's worth noting that the fall of the Congo Kingdom wasn't an isolated incident. It was part of a larger trend in Africa.
But also we have heard that there was, I believe it's the second king who was betrayed by his brother. How sad is that, honestly? Over people you don't know, over foreigners, over goods that they're bringing, not even goods, weapons that you're bringing, and in exchange of your people. That's where we literally go wrong as a people. Unity is the most important thing that we should actually try and learn each and every day. Ubuntu, that's what we had back in the days. Because if we're united in everything, if we're united in each and every way, I believe that we're going to become a very powerful force. But there's a lot of conflicts between us. There's a lot of rivalry between us, which there shouldn't be. Have you seen how other races support their other races? Have you seen how other races are always actually down for their people in whatever country you visit? They may not know each other, but they're gonna sit together. They're gonna say hi to each other, and ask themselves, "Hey, where do you come from? You did the other." But we need that mostly here in Africa. We need to be united. That's one thing that really worked well, and that's why Africa was divided into this little fragmentation of countries which don't really make sense. We are all Africans. We share traditions. We share a beautiful heritage. We have a very strong hold if we come together, unite, support. Always put your brother and sister on. Maybe that's one thing we can learn from other races because it's so hard for Africans to be united. I don't know if it's because of the separation didn't really work and it was subjugated into our mind, that when you see another individual doing really amazing, right, it's better for you to actually put someone else on who doesn't actually share your heritage, your culture, and your tradition than your brother and sister who's actually next to you. I believe that's also one thing that has actually kept us really stagnated as a people in terms of everything. If we're super united, I'm telling you, we'll definitely come together and redefine the course of where Africa is with one common goal, with one common vision of how we want this continent to look like. I still believe we are the change needed to actually be in this world. I can see that happening with this new generation, but also do have one or two individual who actually do not actually buy this idea. But that's where the secret is: unity. That's where the secret is. Thank you for the ones who are joining me right now. I can see Ray, Willing, Chalo. Thank you for joining me live on TikTok. And for the ones who are joining me live on YouTube, Be True and Rambo Speaker, how are you doing? you're seeing this face right away. My name is Iriton Lungoria on Let's Talk with Iriton. We've actually talked about the HIV jab vaccine that has been introduced into the country and 9 more other African countries. Also, we've talked about how people are reacting to it. Thank God people really know what's really happening. And also, we've talked about the rise and fall of Congo. But right now, I'll definitely talk about democracy with the one and only. I'll play that video right away in a minute. But before that, remember you can download our app on the Google Play Store, stream on www.blackhot5radionetwork.com for amazing healthy supplements, apparel clothing with the Black Hot 5 Radio logo on it.
We are talking about in terms of land, we need to liberate ourselves and start going back to organic farming, indigenous seeds, small seeds. Our parents did not have water shipped around where we need more trucks to carry water. They were staying where they were staying and they had access to water. But when you moved them away from where they were, now you need to move water to where they are, which is not practical. So we need to start looking at vigorous ways of vigorously transforming this mindset, particularly as a ruling party. Stop acting like an opposition party. You are a ruling party. You are not an opposition party. Set the agenda items loud and clear and let the rest of the nation follow your agenda as a nation and a ruling party. You need to, again, lastly, to benchmark your land reform strategy and go to China, learn from China. No one owns land in China. The government owns land, we give you lease agreements. When you die...
Okay, I actually say no to that. No, because that was introduced last year, the 2025 finance bill. And also, looking at it, at a point where we understand how this government is. Can you imagine the government is leasing your land? That was one of the key factors that people actually said no to. The way it has been in this government, we could no to that. That was just like a no.
And the lease expires, the land flows back to the owners, who is the state. Tanzania, Britain, you can own a little bit of what the Queen does not want, but the rest of it belongs to the crown. And if you don't like Britain, you can lift your house and go. The land remains as a property of the Queen.
Also, we do have a lot of air quotes politicians who, they're not acting as leaders. They're not Pan-Africanists. So that's one thing we lack as Africans, right? We do not have conscious leaders. The government, the system does not really work for us. And right now, if the government, this is my perspective, actually owns the land, and the fact that there are also air quotes, a lot of collaboration with a lot of foreign nations. Also, there are news and update about other nations buying land in Africa for other agendas, honestly. So can you imagine if the government, they're still doing this regardless, right? But can you imagine like whatever land you own right now or your family own is actually rightfully owned by the government?
What is above your house belongs to us. What is underneath your house belongs to us. You only own what is on top of the house. That is Britain. You visit UEA.
I don't agree with Joshua Maponga on this at all.
By the king owns the land, mine and etc. We belong. So, guys, this whole thing of democracy is a smokescreen of lies. Because even in countries where they are claiming democracy, they are enjoying more freedom in Africa than we can enjoy in their own country. And I don't know why we are so much scared of dealing with the devil once and for all. And you tell this message to all my white brothers from Germany and from South Africa. If you are not careful the way you handle land, you are going to leave your children with a snake in the back. Because after being to Australia and they are told you are illegal immigrant, they go to America and they are told you are an alien. They go to Britain and they are told you are a foreigner. And they come back home here and they are landless. your own children, you will turn in your grave as our children will start victimizing your children. If you are smart enough, start making arrangements to relinquish some of the land into the black hands, to diffuse the anger of the people. Use democracy to bribe them and be nice to them when they can still listen. Because time will come when you will want to.
What this? I've had someone saying about this. Like, time will come when it's not going to be the same again.
Talk and will not want to talk. You'll want to negotiate and will not want to negotiate. We don't have to apologize for what rightfully belongs to us. The African does not own his land. The land owns him.
Yes. Ooh, that's a deep one over there. We don't have to apologize to what rightfully belongs to us. And I believe one thing what Dr. Arikana said, which is a good point, that if you only know who you are, you'll be walking into this room with the type of confidence that is super unapologetic because you know who you are, you know where you're coming from. But we do have leaders who are invited into the White House and you can see the disrespect in your face and you're taking it. But you know, like these other nations, they survive because of where you come from. They survive because of you, literally. But they're literally bending down. They're accepting the humiliation, the embarrassment, the disrespect. But if you literally know who you are, it's a fact of where you come from, a fact about your identity, a fact about your royal heritage. You won't allow that. You can't allow that. You'll walk with your head held up high, knowing that, yes, I am who I say that I am.
From it we have come, to it we shall return. I owe my allegiance.
Right? Nature always goes back to its natural cause. He's actually speaking my language right now.
Push some of the land into the black hands to diffuse the anger of the people. Use democracy to bribe them and be nice to them when they can still listen. Because time will come when you will want to talk and will not want to talk. You'll want to negotiate and will not want to negotiate. We don't have to apologize for what rightfully belongs to us. The African does not own his land. The land owns him. From it we have come. To it we shall return.
Come on, Joshua Maponga.
I owe my allegiance to the soil where I come from, because soil is spiritual. That's where my history is. That's where my forefathers are buried. I eat from it. I drink from it. My history is written in the land. And whoever owns my land owns my blessing.
Me, yes, that is so true. And that's why we should say no to all these we can name all these companies that what that literally overtaking lands for their own use, because according to them, or this is their culture, is literally about money. And they choose parts of Africa where people are not really educated because they'll start asking, what is carbon storage? What's really happening? What is that? I've never heard of that word in my life. And they're literally moving my brothers and sisters in Isiolo out of their own land, promising them millions of Kenyan shillings, which they've never, ever received.
Because when it rains, God has blessed me. If I don't have access to land, I don't have access to existence. Therefore, every man must have 2 wives. The first wife is land.
Joshua Ponga. It's always up on that.
And the second wife is the one who will make children for you. If you don't have land, you don't have a right to reproduction.
Definitely makes sense to all the brothers who are listening.
Because you cannot sleep with your wife on WhatsApp. You can't sleep with her on Facebook. You need an address. You need an address. Land is the address that legitimizes even making children.
Also to all the women who are listening.
That's why when lions walk around the bush, they lift up their legs and they mark their territories. And after they've marked their territories, then they start reproducing. Are animals now better than us? that we fail to have access to our own spaces so that we can reproduce after our own selves. I challenge SWAPO to deal with land issues, take off those bloody gloves, get down to business, but be strategic, be thoughtful, be mindful, be future seeing, and put strategies that will work.
I love this conversation by the one and only Joshua Maponga, reclaiming our land. Land defines who we are. We came from it, we're going to go back to it. And that's why we should also question a lot of companies actually moving to Africa or basically buying land in Africa for other agendas, right? For other different agendas that some people will definitely question. Some actually do not know what's really happening, but we should not allow our land to be taken away from us. This is what defines who we are as Africans. This is who we are as Africans. Because as I said, actually, you go to different countries, they actually alienate you. Then you come back home, you don't have a land. Are you kidding me? You don't have a place to lay your head. You don't have a place that actually your generation will actually carry forward. Question that or think about it. But that has been my time, family. My name is Ayrton Lungoria. I hope you had a great time here with me about the rise and fall of Congo. Also, we talked about the HIV jab vaccine being introduced in Kenya and also 9 other countries. And also, we talked about democracy is a small screen of lies. Democracy is a small screen of lies. And also, the African land is for African. Live and direct. Remember to download our app on the Google Play Store. Stream on www.blackout5radionetwork.com for amazing healthy supplement. 1616 on the clock. Remember, you can get yourself amazing beetroot to give you that beautiful, beautiful skin. And also, if you want to naturally lose some weight, get yourself some beetroot. Before I wind up, let's listen in to the health and benefits of beetroot. I hope literally Mr. Newsom is drinking some beetroot.
Beetroot, nature's powerhouse, packed with vitamins, antioxidants and nitrates, it's known to support heart health, boost stamina and improve blood circulation. Our beetroot is naturally grown and harvested at peak ripeness. The roots are cleaned, dried and finely ground to preserve their rich nutrition content, giving you all the benefits in one pure form. Add 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder to your juice, smoothie or water, or take it in capsule form as recommended by your healthcare provider. Beetroot helps enhance endurance, lower blood pressure, and keep you feeling energized and balanced all day. Fuel your body with the natural power of beetroot. Stay strong, stay healthy. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
$20.90. Super affordable. Only $20.90 you get it. So some beetroot. You can drink beetroot in form of a smoothie. For the ones who wanted like you can be drinking it, yes, you can do that. But also remember you can download the app on the Google Play Store if you're using the Android device. If you're using the iPhone or the computer, stream on www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. And I'm wishing you a beautiful, glamorous Wednesday. Sending you so much love and light. Remember, you are the change you need to see in the world. Much love and take care. See you next time with amazing, uplifting conversations.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Here is Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother, all the way in Switzerland. And I'm reaching out to all of my brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into Black Hot Fire Radio.
You're now listening to the best music.
Feel the freshness.
Deep in your heart, it is heavy, it's heavy and total. And the path that you're on, it is narrow. And I know the way to tomorrow. Breathe